Now, we do have good stuff from Jarek Grosky, I think, who said, wouldn't it be awesome if Azeroth was evergreen content, perhaps via regular updates with cool stories and not current expansion-themed dungeons? Yes! I mean, you know, what if there's a Stormwind stock? Right, what if you do a new patch and just one of the things is, you know, there's something of Stormwind or something like that. And I guess it'd be a bit tricky for the Horde, but maybe they also get something in this. But the idea is that, you know, we've brought all these really powerful weapons and artifacts and things onto Azeroth. A lot of power has been floating around. You know, maybe in this post-Azerite world, there's some stuff has went on. Maybe the Defias Brotherhood or some other, you know, criminal organization that exists has got its hand in this stuff. So, you know, maybe got to go back to Stormwind, and maybe the Stockades is our new dungeon, but it's been taken over by like actual, you know, criminals with really powerful gear. And there's a little storyline with a mystery, and there's some cool new things we can earn. That would be great. Or, you know, what if Blizzard just decide, hey, you know, we're going to be doing something to update the little zone stories. So that's what we're going to do. You know, every minor content patch, we're just going to, you know, Hearthglen, what's going on over there? We'll explore it with a little quest line and a little hub and a few little things. You know, maybe it's the sort of thing, it doesn't get the most resources in the world, but if it just kept Azeroth feeling populated, I think that would be really nice. So, Jarek, I completely agree. Why did I say Jarek? There's no R in there. Jasik? Sorry, I'm awful with pronunciations, but anyway, the point is, I agree with you entirely. I think that would be awesome. You know, I think if Stormwind, Orgrimmar, and Exodar and everything, if they were their own reputations, I mean, they are right now in the game, but if that was extended and brought forward,
yeah, well, they sort of aren't. Like,
I mean, yeah, they may as well not be, but if that was extended and brought forward, you know, we could have some really cool things at Endgame. So. Yeah, or maybe you just make it, you know, Alliance and Horde, and you have, you know, the Alliance military, the Horde military, and you just make some new factions that represent wings of our factions, and we can do things for them. I think that'd be awesome. I would totally support Blizzard doing that. Absolutely.
Be lovely.
Yeah, I just think fleshing out the world is really important because, you know, if death is coming from the soul of our world, then the more the game invests us in our world through those little storylines, the better.
It's the kind of thing where, like, death goes to the world, but can we just chill in the Shadowlands? Like, will the jailer go out and take Azeroth? We're like, right, we'll just close the portal behind you. We'll stay here.
I mean, I think we'd be pretty. So.
I mean, it'd be awful, but it's like,
Yeah, so, you know, I think there's a lot they could do there. I really hope they do that. And, you know, there's so many people in the community who are advocating for this that I feel like there's a chance they maybe will.
I imagine they discuss it internally every time there's an expansion, and then someone overrules them and goes, no, we must go further into the world of fractals.
Yep. I'm in pain. We've got from Kenny Fields, who said, do you think Blizzard should open up hard mode realms where they give you harder difficulty encounters during questing and make it like classic where you've got to read the quest text, or do you think it should just be a toggle option in the menu? You know, separate realms, no, in my view. I think the more that we fork World of Warcraft, the harder it is for them to make it, because they're managing so many different versions. And, you know, imagine dealing with bugs in QA in that world. But I do think there should be a way to do stuff in a harder difficulty. I think it would be neat if they could make it work out.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure how that is done.
You go to the Blizzard store, which is the job listing page, and you add a whole load of entries, which is experienced senior or junior to senior game designers with expertise in like action oriented gameplay come into our game and then design it for us, because they clearly don't have the resources to do what they currently do, and also design strong gameplay oriented content in droves. And if they do have the resources and aren't doing that, then what are they doing with those resources?
Good question.
So
I don't know.
Go spend some of your 200 million in profit on people that will make content that make us want to give you more money for your game.
Yeah, but then it's the thing where, like, if people are just on a rolling 6-month sub because they play a bunch of WoW, then they'll never really feel the financial pressure to make them really feel like they need to do that.
Yeah.
That's the tricky bit.
Yeah. If you don't like it, unsub. Do the job. Do the job for the game.
And that's what's really tricky, is I'm in a situation where there are like sections of the game I really don't like right now.
Yeah.
But I'm still sub because the bits that I do like. But then that means that because Blizzard doesn't really listen that good to player feedback, at least for their higher up decision making people, it seems. Well, I'm part of the problem, even though I'm playing the game the way that I enjoy, which is
Yeah.
I just want to pay this entry fee and I want to do raids and dungeons and things.
Yeah.
But I also would really, super want to play the game if all this world content was great. But if I super want to play the game because the world content is great, but I'm subbed anyway, it doesn't make them any extra money to do that, so they're not really going to feel the pressure to do it, right?
Yeah.
That's the tricky nut.
Yep.
I mean, Kenny, I'd say, if we could have the Battle of Ardenweald, like, super hard friggin' gameplay mode, then, I'd be more excited. If we could have just more room for things like that, that would be great. I don't think we need to do it in some sort of humongous big system because that could get too hard and too unwieldy. And if it is just, all the world mobs are scaled up 50%, they'll take longer to kill, there you go. It's maybe pacing-wise wouldn't be great. Or, you need, I don't know. It's like, that just creates all those problems because then it's like, why do you do it in the harder difficulty? Because I think people would expect something new. So then we've got to make a whole bunch of new rewards, and is that going to be too hard if it's done at a scale applied across the whole world? Or then if it's a situation of like monster power, in Diablo or something where, you do a run in this, so that means you get more, gold, more XP, more magic find.
Yeah.
Well, then that'll have a whole bunch of implications in the WoW economy and how players interact with the game. It will make the world stuff feel systemic. So blanket, I'd say no, but more types of content need to just have relevant gameplay.
Yeah.
And things like that. And I mean, it's like there's even some quests where the NPCs die so quickly that like dialogue goes too fast for the game to handle, and we hear NPCs talking, sometimes even talking over themselves.
It's NPCs talking over each other in the Battle for Ardenweald nearly made me lose my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty rough in that.
There's like, defend Ardenweald. The enemy is approaching.
Defend Ardenweald. The enemy is...
The awful stuff from the maw is coming. And then you just have like Lady Moonberry being like, where are we going next, champion? You're like, what?
Bloody hell, I really polished those mobs off quick, didn't I?
Yeah, just why are you so like... You completely destroyed any immersion I had by just not having your like scripts for things line up correctly in game.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem.